Yo, I'm Bob, totally blind since birth, into He-Man, talking about the Netflix original series He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. So we're on Season 2, Episode 3, going to be talking about Eternia 2000. Spoilers ahead, watch the episode before listening to my thoughts. And without further ado, we're getting into this episode. Episode 13 overall, if you like that better. So I like the beginning of the episode. It's one of my favorite scenes because we have Crass and she's standing by that tapestry of Grayskull. And she's wondering, well, gee, why don't I have any special attacks? And when she asked herself that question, it dawned on me as well. Yeah, why doesn't Crass have any special attacks? I mean, you know, she's got that move where she turns into a little rammy ball and she can jet forward in her big helmet after she powers up and all that. But she doesn't have a big super move like everybody else. And of course, she reiterates the question, why don't I have a nemesis? And before she can delve into this, before she can ponder this, Adam approaches her and lets her know that they all have to go to this impromptu team meeting led by Stratos, who's just called the thing. And so this is a perfect time for Crass to ask Adam once again, hey, why haven't you told him that he's out of the Masters? Adam just can't bring himself to do it yet. So Crass is even more annoyed by Stratos during the meeting because he keeps interrupting everybody. Duncan has scanned the piece of the Sigil of Hiss and found out that it's made of Proto-Havoc. Proto-Havoc is a far older Havoc than the refined Havoc that Skeletor uses. We find that out. This stuff was around, I guess, when the universe began. This stuff that the Sigil piece is made out of. So Duncan is scanning for more of this stuff, and he sees that a second piece of the Sigil of Hiss, it's traveling around in circles at top speed. So while all this is going on, you have Stratos interrupting everybody. And Crass just gets so irritated that she finally says something along the lines of, "Let Dinky finish." Well, she doesn't say it like that in my feeble attempt at a scary voice, but I do imagine she glares at him. And that kind of lets Stratos know, hey, maybe I need to let other people talk. Well, Crass may be annoyed by this character, but I like him. I think he's a pretty cool king of Avion. I mean, kings are a bit arrogant every now and again. And I mean, Randor was a bit of an arrogant king before the younger generation turned him around a wee bit, as we've seen. But yeah, you have that going on. You have Skeletor looking for a vault in the Palace of Eternos because Randor had done an archaeological dig 8 years ago, according to his journal that Skeletor, I should say, read and then burned. And the sigil piece is in that vault. He gets to the door. He hits his head on the door before opening it. And then he finds, well, there's no vault there. There's just this big, empty tunnel. And while Beastman and Trapjaw, they can't answer Skeletor's question as he shouts, "Where's my vault?" or something like that, because he's got their mouths stuffed with havoc, so they can't answer him. And yeah, the vault is speeding through the Eternian deserts. And I got really strong Eternia playset vibes. I don't know whether or not the vault is on a train that looks very similar to that monorail that you guys are going to be getting in the Eternia playset, going to be released in, I don't know how long it's going to be until it comes out, but I know a lot of you guys are excited for that thing. I don't know if it looks like the same monorail or if this is just a different vehicle entirely. It's a train, and the descriptive audio track described the Battle Cat symbol on one of the cars. So yeah, that's where King Randor sent the vault. It is in a train, and it is out of Skeletor's reach. He did that before he left. So you gotta imagine that Skeletor is hopping mad. No bones about it. So in the world below, you have Orko and Teela talking. Teela's got to go track down Evelyn, who's no longer Evelyn by this point, of course. Word has reached Teela's ears that Evelyn is tracking yet another piece of the Sigil of Hiss, so she's not in this episode very much. She tells Orko to make sure that Randor is safe. So Orko gets right up in Randor's face after Teela leaves, sleeping Randor's face, and he creepily whispers, "Do you feel safe?" And this causes Randor to wake up and hit his head. And I love Tom Kenny's Orko. I've laughed at this voice actor's performances in a good way, always in a good way, since listening to him as Heifer, I believe, from Rocko's Modern Life when I was around 11 or 12 in the mid-90s. It's always fun to listen to him in anything, be it SpongeBob or He-Man or Ninja Turtles 2012 or what have you. So it's a really hilarious voice actor. So yeah, you've got Orko doing battle with Triclops, that Trapjaw deployed at the end of the last episode. And so Orko's got to leave Randor unattended because Triclops is able to control the minds of whoever he latches onto. I'm not sure how this works because the descriptive audio narration tracks can only describe so much, but it is able to control whoever it latches onto. And so it's gotten a hold of one of Man-E-Face's spellcaster. So Orko's having to fend this person off, and Triclops is let slip that its objective is to perform a distraction and an extraction. So Orko's got to get back to Randor before it's too late. So then in the rest of the episode, you have the Masters and the Nemesis, and they're all speeding toward the moving vault of artifacts. And so you have a new character making matters even worse. She's a bandit. Her name is Mosquitara, and I think she's voiced by the amazing Grey Griffin, or does she go by Grey Delisle now? I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that's who's voicing the new Bug Lady. And when I heard the character's name, I immediately thought of the Horde, and I thought, oh wow, we're going to get to see the Horde show up? Because I think the male version of this character in previous incarnations, Mosquitor, was a member of the Horde. So that's got me really wanting to see the Horde in this show. I know they're coming in Masters of the Universe Revolution, but man, I love the Horde. So you have the Mosquitara character, and she's got some henchmen, and she can drain energy from tech and from people. So they're trying to stop her from getting at the train, getting at the Wind Raider. You have Trapjaw there, you have Beastman there, and Beastman is he's clinging to the Wind Raider while Cringer's left flying it. You have Ram Mam doing battle with Mosquitara, and Mosquitara notices that Rami has both green and gold energy in her. And I'm guessing gold is the power of Grayskull and green is the power of Havoc. So that's a little revelation that we learn in this episode. She has both. And so I'm thinking she's really starting to listen to that Havoc inside of her, because yeah, she's really not being that kind to Stratos here at the beginning or the end of the episode, as we'll see. You have He-Man and Skeletor. They make it aboard the train, but they can't do violence aboard this train because Randor has he's gotten these bots to basically self-destruct if you act as if you're going to do any violence at all. They don't want the collection destroyed, so He-Man and Skeletor have to politely ask where the sigil piece is. They go into this big room where all these other bots are waltzing, and He-Man asks them, hey, why are you guys dancing around? And one of them says something like, oh, we're just passing the time until the throne of Eternos is reclaimed by dancing. And so they're trying to dance their way over to the sigil piece. So you have this one bot that has a thing for Skeletor, and the bits were, well, they genuinely made me laugh out loud. They didn't slap you in the face with comedy. I mean, you didn't have a lot of goofiness, but it was a very unconventional way for these two foes to battle it out for the sigil piece. And they're not really doing a dance-off. They're trying to maneuver themselves over to that piece, and they're trying to do it in a peaceful way. And Skeletor says all he needs to say about being there. Before the dancing starts, he's like, I hate today. So he's not liking it there at all. This is something that is not in his nature. He hates being polite. He hates being a pacifist. I think he wants to get his bony hands dirty, and this is just something he detests. And so I love seeing this very un-Skeletor-like thing to do for him in this episode. And so you have He-Man and Skeletor dancing around. They eventually do the slow motion bit, so you have He-Man laughing in slow motion, then you have Skeletor laughing at him at one point. Skeletor's doing the slow motion laugh thing, and then of course you have Stratos busting into the room, and he fumbles the ball. The bad guys get the sigil piece, and the train starts to explode because I think it's slowed down. Another thing I forgot to mention, that the train has to go at a certain speed or kaboom, and it's apparently slowing down. I don't know if Mosquitara has drained the energy from it. She tries to drain the energy from Ram but is knocked aside. And we have Cringer, who manages to knock Beastman off of the Wind Raider while he's providing support there. And so yeah, the bad guys make it away with the sigil piece, and Skeletor tells He-Man only one to go. So I guess Teela and Everlyn are going to be doing battle for that in the next episode. According to the montage, a little sneak peek of what's to come we see at the end of the episode. So before the episode ends, though, we see Ram and He-Man. And He-Man finally has had it up to here with Stratos, and he says, "Look, you may be the king of Avion. I'm the leader of the Masters, though, and you're out." So, yeah, Stratos is not too happy, and he makes a deal with Mosquitara at the end of the episode. He tells her, you help me save Eternia, and you'll have all the green and gold energy you could ever want. So I don't know if I like where that's headed. Hopefully, he'll come to his senses, or she'll come to hers and actually be a hero. I don't know, though. She might be a member of the Horde. I don't know what's coming. This is the first time I've seen these episodes. I love the episode quite a bit. I don't think I mentioned Triclops enough. I think it's a really creepy rendition of this character. He's a bot. He can control people's minds. He makes them talk in this really monotone robotic voice, and he does find Randor by the end of the episode. And so Randor's now in the clutches of the enemy once again, and I guess he's gonna take him back to Skeletor. Triclops is gonna take him back to Skelly in the Palace of Eternos. So that's another win for the bad guys in this episode. It did have a couple comedic bits in it, but yeah, the bad guys win the day in more ways than one in this episode, and I love episodes like this. And when Adam told Stratos that he was out, the descriptive audio track, it let me know that Crass smiled. So yeah, she is definitely listening to that havoc inside her, going dark side, I think. Anyway, we'll see as the season progresses, I guess. But not a good move there by anybody. Now they have one less individual to help them find the sigil pieces. And I know Stratos is a bit arrogant. He's a bit full of himself, but I still think he's a cool character. So maybe they'll all be reunited at some point before the season ends. Can't wait to see the next episode of Very Hungry Dragonfly, I think it's called. So be here for that, and have a great day. Did I forget to mention anything? I don't know. We'll talk about it next time if I did. Okay, till then, guys.